Joy Behar made some comments about religion that people are pretending to be outraged by. So Fox News invited on Trump advisor and pastor Robert Jeffers. Let's see what they had to say.
The panel on The View mocking Vice President Mike Pence for saying that he talks to Jesus. Watch.
I think when you have a Mike Pence that now sort of puts this religious veneer on things and calls people values voters, I think we're in a dangerous situation. I'm a faithful person, but I don't know that I want my vice president speaking in tongues and having Jesus speak
like
to
I
him.
said before.
I don't know if I want that.
It's one thing to talk to Jesus. It's another thing when Jesus talks to you. It's called mental illness, if I'm not correct. I'm hearing voices.
Pastor Robert Jeffress is a senior pastor at First Baptist Church and a faith advisor to President Trump. Pastor Jeffress, thanks for coming on this morning. I'm sure that you're having a reaction just hearing that again. What is it?
Well, look, let's just go ahead and say what we all know is true. If Joy Behar had attacked a devout Muslim for his faith, ABC would have fired her in a nanosecond. But, you know, to the left, when it comes to attacking conservative Christians, it is always open season. And, you know, I'm often asked, why is it that evangelicals supported a secular candidate like Donald Trump by the largest margin in history? This is the reason. Christians are tired of being bullied for their faith in the public square. They wanted an administration who would respect rather than ridicule their beliefs. And in many ways, the election of Donald Trump and Mike Pence was a reaction against these kind of despicable attacks upon people's faith.
Why do you think that they have such a problem with the vice president and his beliefs?
Well, scratch beneath the surface or read what they've said in the past, and it's very clear. Mike Pence has committed the unpardonable sin when it comes to the left, and that is he still maintains the personal belief that marriage should be between a man and a woman. And look, everybody doesn't agree with that perspective. He understands that, but you can hardly call that an extreme perspective when it's the belief of the three major world religions, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, which have taught that for years, thousands of years. And look, this once again shows the hypocrisy of the left. The left cries for tolerance, and yet they are the most intolerant people when it comes to beliefs with which they disagree.
Yeah, no. Tolerance doesn't mean sitting idly by while you say ridiculous things. We can be tolerant of you. Tolerant means, the left is not going to pass any kind of law that disparages people of faith. Christians aren't allowed around here, or whatever kind of nonsense that he's making up in his own mind. Tolerance is coexisting and saying, I will back your rights and you need to back my rights. That's what tolerance is. But he's spinning disagreement as if it's oppression. No, Joy Behar is saying religion, specifically fundamentalist religion, is really bad and wrong. And hey, if you talk to Jesus or God, fine. But if God talks to you, that might be schizophrenia, bitch. If you're hearing voices in your head, yes. That's a problem. That's a big problem. So, but he's spinning that. He doesn't have an actual rebuttal. So he spins it. And he spins it as, this is oppression of us. What happened? I thought you people on the right love to act like snowflakes on the left are always playing the victim. You're playing the victim. Disagreement with your ideology is not victimization or oppression of you. Fucking snowflake. So, let's break this down a little bit more. Yeah, Joy Behar said, if you talk to God, fine, but if God talks to you, that's mental illness. And what she's saying is, if you literally hear a voice in your head, you have issues. I think she's right. And I don't even think that's controversial. Really? If somebody's sitting there and they hear voices in their head and they think God is literally talking to them, they don't have a problem? No, they do. They do. If you take out God and put in fucking, I don't know, somebody thinks that they're having a conversation with their dead great-grandma, for example. Like, I hear the voice of my great-grandma in my head, and she's telling me to do this and that. We'd go, oh, here's some Seroquel. Here's a straitjacket. Get in the fucking padded room. That's what people would do. But when you take out great-grandma and put in God all of a sudden, if you say something's wrong here, you're a bigot. What? What are you saying? What she's saying is not even controversial, and this is fake outrage. And then I like when he makes the point, if Joy Behar attacked a Muslim in the same way, she would have been fired. Okay, number one, I don't know if that's true, but number two, if that is true, that would be wrong. They would be wrong to fire her in that instance. Just like they would be wrong if they fired her in this instance. Because that's not a controversial point. If you're hearing voices in your head, you need help. If you talk to God, fine, that's you being religious. It's a little weird if you're talking out loud to something that's not obviously there. It's a little weird. But if you hear voices in your head, that's a problem. And then final point is he answers his own question, but he says, why did evangelicals support Trump? Because we're tired of getting kicked around. Well, actually, no, I have a better answer to that question. Why did evangelical Christians support Trump? Because they're hypocrites. That's why they supported him. Because Donald Trump does embody the values that they claim that they're against. If there was a Democratic candidate who was exactly like Trump, they would have said this guy is the devil in real life. Between all the shit, whatever it may be, grab him by the pussy, I don't even wait. That was one of the things Trump said. These are the same people who they claim family values. We care about family values, and you have to abstain from sex, and you have to be an upstanding citizen in that respect. And this is a guy who wrote about going to parties, and I think he said his own personal Vietnam was avoiding STDs. By the way, he got deferments from going to Vietnam. So a guy skipped the war, talks about my own personal Vietnam was going to these orgy parties and not getting STDs. And these are the ones who the fundamentalist Christians were like, that's our guy right there, man. Donald Trump said we need to lower wages when he was on the campaign trail, during actually a primary debate. And the people who supposedly love Jesus were like, that sounds like Jesus to me. The guy, Donald Trump, kicked 3 million people off of healthcare his first year because of his executive orders on Obamacare. Who would Jesus deny healthcare to? So you want to know why the fundamentalist evangelical Christians support Trump? Because they're hypocrites. That's why they support him. That's why they support him. So just get that through your head, buddy. But anyway, Joy Behar, not somebody I agree with often nowadays. She's an insufferable, establishment-leaning type Democrat, but she's right about this, and it's funny watching all the fake outrage because this is fake outrage that would have caught on more in like 2006 or some shit. But now it's 2018, and you get the sense that people hear it, and they're like, pipe down, Fox. This is nothing, and she's kind of right.